Dun 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 dun. Welcome back to the Brandon K Show live at 5. This is a real show. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and I'm here today to talk about 2010s movies with one of my favorite people to talk about movies with, Brian Kane.
Hey Brandon, good to see you, man. How are you?
It's a great day, man. You know what came out in the 2010s? The Star Wars sequels.
The in the
All three,
2010s, it was the
all,
isn't it
all three,
the
all three of them came out between 2010 and 2020.
but the latter three
The sequels, yeah, the most
sequels. Oh, sequels. Yeah.
sequels. So I'm gonna hope. Well, actually, our list today is in alphabetical order, but I still hope there every single Star Wars movie that came out is on this list, including Solo.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But before we get into the 200 best movies of the 2010 era, the quick word from our sponsor, Giftiply Charity Wrap.
This wrapping paper is disrupting the industry. Each wrapping paper design tells a story inspired by the missions of our nonprofit partners. We have a diverse set of causes you can support, from childhood cancer research to conservation and animal welfare to LGBTQ plus youth and more. Our paper is sustainable too. We use soy-based inks on 100% recyclable newspaper print for a boutique quality finish. And remember, now every gift can give back with Giftiply.
Gotta love Giftiply charity wrapping paper. Brian, I know you're a customer.
I sure am. Yeah, I bought the Alex's Lemonade stand wrapping paper. Loved
For
it. It was
childhood
great.
cancer. What a great cause.
I wrapped all my gifts last year in that.
And for anyone out there who's finding out about Giftiply, you can use promo code BK Show for 25% off. So
Let me write that down.
yeah, BK Show. We had the founders both on yesterday.
Oh, Patrick and Patrick.
Patrick Feeney was there chiming in every now and then about the movies,
Excellent.
the best movies of the 2000 eras. Today we're talking about the best movies of the year 2010 and beyond.
Excellent. There are some good ones in there. So the list that we're gonna go 200 of them, huh?
Here we go. I hope you have time. Hope you cleared your
Alrighty. Cleared the afternoon.
They're in alphabetical order. So it starts with 12 Years a Slave, 95%. I never saw it. How about yourself?
I did see it. I thought it was great. I did enjoy the movie. I mean, obviously it's not a great topic, but I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I enjoyed it. I only watched it once, but it's good.
Academy Award winning.
Was it?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I never checked it out, but 95% is a very high score, and I heard it's a great movie. We also got 99% right here, 20 Feet from Stardom, but I never heard of this one.
I haven't heard of that either.
You don't hear about movies with 99% very often.
That's I feel like it'd be the other way. I feel like that would be everywhere.
How about 45 Years?
I mean, nope, don't know that one.
All Is Lost, Amazing Grace. Tell me when you've seen one of these movies. American Hustle.
I saw American Hustle.
All right, tell me about it. I didn't see it myself, but it's got Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams, all-star cast. Tell me your thoughts.
I just remember seeing it. I thought it was can't remember any of it, Brandon. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wow. It says it right, at least funny and impeccable.
I do think it was funny. Yeah, I thought they were doing their thing. It was a timepiece movie, so obviously you could tell from the clothing they were
dabbles in forgery and loan sharking, but when he falls for fellow grifter Sidney Prosser, Amy Adams, sounds like a lot of grifting and like a heist movie or something, or a grifting movie.
Can't tell you much more than that. There it is.
Amy looks like an Amy Winehouse movie with 96%.
I didn't see it.
And now Melissa. Okay, here we go. Here's one that
we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting Ant-Man. and the Wasp, the sequel to Ant-Man.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Oh, here we go. We got a guest, or we got somebody in here. What,
Hey, Alan.
Alan? You can jump into about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, of the three Ant-Mans, probably number 3 for me.
Okay, so Quantumanium or Quantumania is number 3.
Yeah.
So I didn't see number 3 yet, so I only saw 1 and 2. Um, I like Evangeline Lilly, so I liked her stepping more into a more active role.
From and Evangelina Lilly from Lost, of course, one of our favorite shows.
That's right, that's right. But comparing the second, so and the Wasp versus just Ant-Man. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, I thought was great. I thought it was good story,
There
good
was,
action.
here we got a lively chat today. Alan says Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun romp, and I have to agree. One of my, this is a major spoiler alert for the movie, but it's been out a long time. And my favorite part was the end sequence where they all get sucked up into the quantum realm, except for Ant-Man, which leads directly into Endgame.
Yeah.
So that's what I really like about Marvel movies is, you could have a great, back and forth fun romp, lot of the whole plot with the ghost and introducing new characters and fighting them and introducing the quantum realm, but then at the end it's going to have something to do with the larger story.
Yeah, it's like a bell curve almost, but then it connects at the ends to the next one. Yeah, so I like what you're
And we're
saying
not
there.
we're not far away from talking about Avengers here, because that's up in the A's as well.
Sure.
And Apollo 11 I didn't see.
Is that like a remake of the one with Tom Hanks?
I mean, that was Apollo 13. This would be
I was
another.
way off.
Yeah, I mean, this is another Apollo mission. Never before seen footage and audio recordings take you straight into the heart of NASA's most celebrated mission. Looks like it's a documentary, and it's a 99%. It came out in 2019. Argo, I saw in theaters. It's a Ben Affleck and Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad, and it's a whole. I gotta turn there. It's a whole story about the militant stormed the U.S. embassy in Iran, taking 66 American hostages. So it's very much a political movie. Did you see Argo?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was great. It was getting them out.
Yeah, and it was it was they kept it. It was they had like it's fun and interesting and exciting moments. Argo, great movie, got a lot of attention that year. 2012.
2012. Yeah, I saw it in theaters as well. I thought that was good.
Now this one, it's kind of
Arrival. It's great.
Arrival, alien movie.
Yeah, so this is where she's like a
she's a linguistics professor.
Linguistics, yeah, and so she's able to figure out how to communicate with
She's the only one who can try to understand these aliens. They bring her in special just to try to figure out their language, and they get into a lot of I was looking for a better synopsis, but they get into a lot of philosophical ideas about the past, present, and the future. So
yeah, I thought it was a great movie though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mind bender, right? Ash is purest white. The artist. All right, here we go. We get to talk about Avengers, Endgame, and Infinity War all together.
Yeah, that's good. Do you want to start with Infinity War and then go to Endgame?
Yeah. Infinity War, of course, here with 85%. It was when Thanos comes down to kill all the Avengers. He has gotten almost all the stones. He has immense power, and he starts offing people.
Well, in Infinity War, he gets all the way to the end.
He gets all. Spoiler alert! He makes it all. He gets the final. He pulls the final stone off of Vision's head. He gets all 6 stones, and then he snaps his finger and he wipes up half the cast of the Avengers and half of the population of the universe.
The universe, yeah.
And you didn't know how that was gonna how they were gonna bring everyone back after that.
But a tie-in to Ant-Man and the Wasp
This is also
could
an
lead into Endgame.
exactly. This is an interesting comment, which is the original Avengers doesn't seem to be on this list, which was also in the 2010s.
Oh, that's right.
So
Is this like the top 200 movies? So is it just not?
I mean, Avengers, the original Avengers should be right there, but maybe it'll be
It didn't make the top 200 best movies of 2010s, I guess.
a major oversight.
I did happen to enjoy the original Avengers quite a bit. A lot of folks thought it was a little slow at first with the, assembling, but I quite enjoyed that part of the story.
We have a guest on the show. We have a dog.
That's Roy. Roy Kent. You're a fan of the Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso reference. Oh, I don't know, but yes. I'm not. I don't know what he means. So, yeah, a big fan of Avengers. Did you see all these movies in theaters, Brian?
Sure did.
Let's see. Whoops. Okay. So, who's your favorite Avengers character?
I like Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Tony Stark, absolutely.
I like his character development through the series, and then all the way throughout until the end.
He becomes a hero more and more each film.
How about you, Brandon?
From these movies, some of my favorites are Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was an awesome addition to the Avengers franchise.
I do like Doctor Strange. You're right.
He's he's the, right next to Iron Man. He comes in and he's the next, the boss man coming in. He knows how to handle the situation. He sees every timeline. And
which I think it's at the end of Endgame when Thor gets on the ship for Guardians. It's like, you're the boss. He's like, I'm this is my shot. I'm in charge. And Thor's like, yeah, it's yours. It's your ship.
They do that in a funny way. It's hard to
yeah.
He's just like, yes, I am the boss. That was great. That was, I got to just bring up that the end of Endgame, when every single Marvel character comes out of portals, is hard to ever beat in any other movie ever.
Oh, the volume in the theater, I couldn't hear anything for like minutes of how loud people were cheering. I mean, you didn't need to hear most of that part, but it was bananas. It was great.
I shed a tear, at least one tear, because I was amazed by how they brought that all together in such a perfect way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. So fun fact, Brandon, I guess not a fun fact, but I didn't actually read any of the comics. I just followed the movies. And so I don't know is that fact comically accurate?
No, it's based on like some 80s comics that have to do with the Infinity Stones, but it doesn't all play out the same way at all.
I see. Okay. So it's not like you were expecting that moment from
No, I wasn't. Yeah, there was a lot of differences in the original comic book series. Thanos, Death was his lover. He was trying to court Death. Death was like a female character he was like obsessed with and trying to like win her heart by killing the most amount of people. And then they changed the whole storyline to like he wants to wipe out half the population, which isn't from the comics.
I see.
And so he's doing his own kind of thing in the movie.
Interesting.
And of course, he says at one point, "I am inevitable." Alan, right here, that moment might have been the pinnacle of cinema, all cinema ever. That's why it's going to be hard to ever top. Brian, do you think they could ever possibly top that moment?
I mean, there's a lot of future ahead of us, but it's as of now, I think it's great.
Because now imagine we have all these Marvel TV series. We have all these new movies, new characters, Eternals. Imagine they all came back in the same way for another Avengers. Do you think that that would be like
Oh,
another level? Would it be like incredible, or would it be just like more of the same if you see it the same?
I feel like it'd be more of the same. It was just so exciting. All this, it's all new for us, so we've seen it now.
Yeah, never will be topped. There was a funny one with Joe Rogan and Robert Downey Jr. talking about it, where if he said, will Iron Man ever come back? And Joe Rogan was like, pitching him a plot and was like, okay, after they make a couple of bad Avengers films, like you'll have to come back and save the day. They'll have to pull you out of time, and Robert Downey Jr. comes back. That could be an incredible moment for cinema. Robert Downey Jr. returning as Iron Man from a parallel universe.
Yeah, I hope that is explored.
Oh, here we go. Patrick has a controversial opinion here that all cinema is dead. But no, that was a great moment. Are you a fan? Are you staying a fan of the Marvel movies of the last few years?
I'm not too tied into all the spin-offs.
Yeah.
So no, probably not.
Did you lose your interest in it to some degree?
I mean, once it peaked, once the pinnacle happened, where do you go from there?
How many have you seen in the last, since the Marvel Phase 4? Like there's Doctor Strange 2.
I did enjoy that. That's the
Eternals, Black Panther 2. WandaVision,
Eternals.
Loki.
Oh, I liked WandaVision. WandaVision was good. I enjoyed Loki.
So
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Show multiple times with two of the people in our chat, Alan and Patrick, about where is Phase 4 going? Will Marvel redeem itself? Do people still will Marvel movies continue to be good? So you can go back and watch those episodes. So, but
okay,
it's kind of like it's a little rocky with some of these new ones.
What has been so I'm looking at Phase 4 now. What's been the top 3 you'd recommend?
I really like Black Panther 2.
Okay.
I'd say, and I was thinking about this today, if I was going to make a list, like out of that list, it wouldn't be Guardians. It wouldn't be No Way Home was the Spider-Man where they brought everyone together, all the old movies. Did you see that one, No Way Home?
Yeah.
So that one was, got to give credit where credit is due.
I thought that was a good movie. I thought that if you were mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, people were dissecting the trailers and like saying there's CGI here where they think it should be one way, and so it was. I kind of expected something like how it turned out, just based on what everyone was like, going through their minds, looking at trailers and such.
Yeah, before you saw the movie, you heard about some of the bad CGI in it?
What I mean by that is, folks had like looked at the trailer, and there's scenes in there where you just see Tom Holland's character.
Like it was spoiled for you.
Yes,
it was all spoiled for you. I understand.
But if you look at the video, it's not spoiling anything, but there's like weird CGI moments that it's covering something else.
Oh, that's
so people are like, if you look at the way that this, like, look at this fuzzy mark right here, and then later when you watched it, you're like, oh, that's why that was that way.
That's crazy. I didn't want to spoil it for Patrick, but he kind of got the gist that all the original movies were all going to be played into, so we wouldn't watch them all in advance, and then saw Far From Home. And I never saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, so it was cool to see them all fresh. Let's see. Patrick, speaking of Patrick, he says, please tell Brian I say hello.
It's hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, more back to the show. Someone has requested we need to rank all MCU in real time on an episode. Okay, we can all get together and do that. I got all the time in the world. I will facilitate March MCU madness. March past, but maybe 2025. I'll be on M by then.
Hello. Hello.
No, and we're going back to the list. We are only at B, The Babadook. Didn't see it.
Didn't see
Baby
it.
Driver. Didn't see it. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the movie with Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers, I did see. Did you see that one?
I did not.
That's a great movie. I mean, what else can you say? It's Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. I also like Tom Hanks as Walt Disney in that movie. Remember that one?
Saving Mr. Banks. Yeah, great movie.
Yeah,
2014, I think. 2013.
that should be on this list. But Tom Hanks is a wonderful actor, and he really plays. It just makes you respect the life of Mr. Rogers if you didn't respect it enough already.
I didn't see it.
Great movie. Before Midnight, didn't see it. The Big Sick,
Mm-mm.
didn't see it. Birdman with Michael Keaton as a superhero. I heard a lot about it. I think it got some nominations. It's right here what awards it won, but I did not see it. Did you see it?
Birdman. I didn't see Birdman.
Birds of Passage, and we're on to Black Panther. So they're giving all these Marvel movies all make the top 200. So gotta respect that.
Except the original Avengers.
Yeah, that one they forgot that was 2012.
Yeah.
You're a fan of Big Black Panther?
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a big fan or a small fan of Black Panther?
So I hadn't watched it until, let's see. I think I watched it with Patrick. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed the movie. There's a lot more action than I was expecting. I didn't know the storyline going into it, so that was fun. That was cool to watch. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was grossed $1 billion. How about Blackfish? That's a controversial topic.
I did see that. Yeah.
Tell me about it because I never really saw it. What were your takeaways from the movie Blackfish?
I think it was I think it was a documentary. I don't know for sure, but it was just kind of telling the story of SeaWorld, right? And so how they captured some of these whales and like just the life of captivity and such. I mean, it's been like 11 years ago, but
99%.
wow.
I guess people were really took this to heart and were like, free the dolphins,
Or the whales.
whales, dolphins, sharks.
Yeah, all of it. The whole SeaWorld, just let them out.
Documentary that will change the way you look at performance killer whales, and that's why I never went and saw it. It's because it was just such a bummer.
Oh, I thought you didn't want to ruin the show you would love so much when you go to SeaWorld.
I mean, no, I could still know that they're in captivity. I just didn't want to focus on it for 2 hours.
Sure.
Black Klansman.
Mm-mm.
Black Klansman uses history to offer bitingly trenchant commentary on current events and brings out some of Spike Lee's hardest hitting work in decades. Didn't see it. You?
I didn't see it.
Blade Runner 2049. Before I ask you if you saw that one, did you see the original Blade Runner?
I haven't seen either of them. So I can't help you on that.
I did not see the original, but I did see Blade Runner 2049 in theaters, and I gotta say it was very slow, and the music was disturbing to me, and I wasn't the hugest fan of Blade Runner 2049. But I never saw the original, so I'm not the one who is their target audience, obviously.
Do you think do they is it just a natural progression of the storyline, you think? Like, do you feel like you would have had a better understanding of what was going on if it was
I guess
had it
because it's
seen?
all like them talking and visiting about the past, and if you saw the original, it would make sense to you. So I mean, nothing really incredible happened. A good movie doesn't rely on its predecessors,
That's but it does enhance it.
It does enhance it. Yes, I mean, it's probably a criminal to not see the original and go see the Blade Runner 2049 without seeing the original.
So when that came out in theaters, I did not see it intentionally because I hadn't seen the
Yeah,
original, and I just never caught around to it.
that's smart.
Speaking of smart,
Book Smart with 96%. Never heard it. Well, Jason Sudeikis is in there. You ever heard of that one?
I never heard of it.
Boyhood with Elar Coltrane. BPM, beats per minute. Bridge of Spies. That's
Yeah,
there's Tom Hanks again, and looks like a spy
during the
movie.
Cold War. Yeah,
You saw that one?
I saw it. Yeah.
During the Cold War, the Soviet Union captures U.S. pilot Francis Gary Powers after shooting down his U-2 spy plane. What'd you think?
I think it's a prisoner swap movie, right? I think.
Could be.
Right.
Are you a big Tom Hanks fan? Seems
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say that's the thing is you've got Tom Hanks in it. It was great. Yeah, he did a good job.
we got Brooklyn, we got Bumblebee, we got Burning, we got Call Me by Your Name, Camera Person, Can You Ever Forgive Me? You know, some of these are not even from America necessarily. And then you got we got Captain Phillips, another Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Tom Hanks really was a big player in the 2010 decade.
He's even now like he's still churning out movies.
Tom Hanks, you cannot.
I just watched You've Got Mail 2 nights ago. That's what 90s. So,
It's awesome. I've been seeing people referencing Castaway. It pops up on my TikTok feed and stuff. For some reason, Castaway is making a resurgence.
wow.
But you know, all of Tom Hanks. Well, I don't know. I think Tom Hanks might have been in some controversy recently. I'm not fully caught up on it. Do you know about that?
What's the controversy?
I'd have to look it up. We don't have to address that here, but he's in the news. I mean, let's see. We got a long list here to get through. We can't address the Tom Hanks controversy. That might have to be another episode. So we got Captain America: Civil War. Of course, before we had every single character coming out of portals, we had every single character coming together and fighting each other, which was the best of its time until Endgame came around.
Mm-hmm. You know, I watched an MCU recap recently, and it was talking about how the last time that Captain America and Iron Man saw each other were at that fight, and then when they saw each other during Endgame, like the distance they had, it just didn't when Tony. Oh wait, it wasn't in Endgame, was it? Did they see each other in Endgame?
They might have been split apart because Tony Stark was off on Mars and Captain America was traveling through time. So I don't think that they might have met up in
Infinity War.
They maybe they started to mend bridges in Infinity War, but I don't remember.
I don't think it was. I think it was an Endgame because when Tony was in his wheelchair after being saved, and so it was. I didn't really ever notice the friction between the two until it was pointed out, and I rewatched that part, and I actually was quite. It made a lot more sense. If you didn't catch that, it's worth a watch.
Yes, I mean definitely a major riff in the MCU. So anyways, as Carol never heard of it, Coco. Pixar movies. I mean, this might be the first Pixar movie on here so far.
Coco.
You like Coco?
Coco's great. Yeah. So yeah,
you watched it.
Probably 3.
You're a big Pixar fan?
I'm a big Pixar fan, sure. Yeah.
Would you consider Coco one of your top Pixar movies, or pretty low on the list?
I would not say it's in the top 5, top 8.
Yeah, I never saw it, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's a cool story. I mean, it's fun to follow this Coco. Well, it's fun to follow the storyline. And the kid who's not named Coco is you can obviously see he travels to the land of the dead. And does it even say it? I don't want to say anything you can't read yourself. Yeah, but it's like, it's very musically driven. Like he's inspired by music and wants to share music. So it's good. I recommend it. Let's do a recap after you watch it.
Yeah. So Brian has informed me that he only has his, this is an hour show, so we got to get through this. We're only on C so far. Crazy Rich Asians. Did you see that one?
I did, loved it.
I didn't see it, but I heard it's great. What do you like about it?
It's I think the name of the movie is I thought, like, when I went to watch the movie, I thought it was like crazy, like, comma rich Asians, but it's the comma actually goes after rich, so crazy rich Asians. So it's like all about these like super rich Asians, and it's a great storyline. I mean, it's a love story, but it's very funny. And um it's like past romance is how they bleed in, and then there's like you've got um appeasing to the mother of the boyfriend and such. So it's a fun movie.
Awesome. Yeah. I would you recommend I go watch it?
How many recommendations do I get to give you? Like 5? Because
Yeah.
no, if it's 5, I'll say you could pass on that one.
Creed, Dallas Buyers Club, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That was the Actually, that wasn't the first of the remakes. This was like the second of the remakes, I think. Are you into the remakes of the Planet of the Apes
Mm-mm.
prequels that are now
I think I just saw. I think I just saw the original one.
like the original?
Not. Sorry, the original remake. The
Yeah,
one with who's the guy from Spider, the first Spider-Man?
yeah, I know exactly who you're saying, and he had a whole thing. I'm forgetting his name right now, but yeah, I saw it as well.
Okay.
It looks like he didn't make it into the second one.
Jason Sudeikis. Oh, there.
Death of Stalin. Oh no! Oh, this is his name right here. Just by coincidence, it's James Franco.
James Franco.
James
That is Spike Went. That's pretty cool.
James Franco did make his way into one of the top 200 movies of the 2010s. I can't believe this even came out only in 2017. Do you know what The Disaster Artist is all about?
I vaguely recall. I can't recall if I saw it or not. Maybe it's just the previews, but
It was
if not, I wrote it down. I want to see it. I want
it
to
was
watch it.
this movie made by Tommy Wiseau, The Room, which is like known as one of the cheesiest, worst movies made. It's kind of like grown a cult following, and he stars in his own movie. Tommy Wiseau just like cast himself in this weird, crazy role, and then The Disaster Artist is how that movie all came together. So James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau, and Seth Rogen's in there, and it's pretty funny. Just to gotta go watch the original, The Room. That's the real that's the real funny thing. But then after you watch that, then you'll get what goes on in the Disaster Artist. I recommend it.
Okay.
That's one of
All
my
right.
top 5 recommend is go watch the worst movie ever made, The Room.
Oh, the Room, not The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, yeah, go watch The Room. It's really funny. It's really, really good. I mean, I've watched it over 5 times, so I'm not just joking around. It's a funny, crazy movie to watch. Doctor Strange, there he is, my man.
There he
Benedict
is.
Cumberbatch, psychedelic, spiritual, philosophical. This movie has it all. Time warps, time loops, training, training to be a wizard. Doctor Strange is an awesome movie.
I liked his his journey from being cocky and overconfident about everything to being humbled as time's gone on in that movie. I enjoyed that trajectory that he was on.
Yeah, and it's similar to Iron Man. Is that all these heroes? I mean, they both kind of start out as selfish, egotistical, but then they learn through their journeys that they have to humble themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they become a hero. That's how you become a hero: is you humble yourself.
Do you have any pointers for me?
About becoming a hero?
Well, I'll start with being humbled.
Oh, being humble. Well, I think you're a pretty humble guy to start in a positive way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
You too, Brandon.
thank you. But because they honestly they start out as assholes. They
Mm-hmm.
start out as like womanizing assholes, and then
Do you feel? Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry. Go ahead.
like they try to make it so that you like them, but I mean they show you their character flaws early on, and then that's why we get to see them and watch them grow from there.
Well, so Doctor Strange, you actually witness all of that in one movie, but
Right.
then you have someone like Tony Stark. It takes 8 movies, 10 movies. I don't know how many he is along the way. I don't see him like that. That drop off that Doctor Strange had was much quicker
Yeah,
than
they
Tony
wanted to
Stark.
pack it in there. Well,
Because
yeah.
I don't recall any particular movie until Endgame where Tony
Well,
was.
it's a humbling process for Iron Man to become a hero because, like, he started out as a womanizer, but then he starts to love Pepper Potts,
Oh,
and
okay.
not necessarily they still keep a good edge to them. I mean, so I think that every movie he had a character arc within the first movie as well. I don't even by the second one, I don't know if he was a womanizing asshole. But he still had room to grow.
That's a good point. Good valid point.
Dolomite is my name. Eddie Murphy. I'm surprised. I thought that would. I didn't know this was so well received. 97%. Don't think twice. Keegan Michael Key. That's Key and Peele. Don't Think Twice offers a bittersweet look at the comedian's life that's as genuinely moving as it is laugh out loud funny, and a brilliant calling card. I guess it's about his life, maybe.
Mm.
Probably want to check that out. Dunkirk. That was a point or big blockbuster. Did you see that one?
I did not.
I forgot it came out. Dunkirk by Christopher Nolan. Eighth Grade is the Bo Burnham movie. I've heard about him. I've heard him do interviews about it, but I haven't watched it myself. You a Bo Burnham fan?
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
Don't know anything about it.
He was the one who, during the pandemic, made that Inside Out. He's like a musician, comedy musician. Ex Machina.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Oscar Isaac. Is Oscar Isaac the star, or is Dome Nail Gleason the star?
They are like counter each other.
Mhm.
That first gentleman is more the star than Oscar Isaac, which I didn't know Oscar Isaac was who he was until. I mean, I saw him in that, but I thought it was cool to also see him in The Force Awakens. So this movie, have you seen it, Brandon?
No.
So this is kind of a take on the Turing test, which is where you have like an artificial intelligence, and you basically interact with that artificial intelligence, and the person has to be able to determine whether that's a person on the other side or a robot. And so this movie, basically, we follow that first guy's name, and he is being tested on whether it's an artificial intelligence or a person he is interacting with throughout the course of the movie.
That's pretty awesome. And I know like AI has become more readily available to everybody at this point, but this came out in 2014. So this was like early warnings of AI technology.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to spoil the movie, but unless you'd like that spoiler,
Do you utilize AI technology?
I do. Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I think we all do. I mean, if you use Siri or, um, I mean, I think even Google searches use AI.
Yeah. I meant like, like
Oh,
have it write things for you or create movies for you or
I I don't have it create movies, but I do use it at work some. It's you could do some pretty neat things in Excel with it.
I
I
like
use
to
Excel
talk
a
to
lot.
I like to talk to the AI on Snapchat sometimes when I'm
What are
lonely.
your
When I'm lonely.
Do you feel like sometimes it could be a person on the other side or a
No,
AI bot?
they're not person like yet. They don't recall things even from the same conversation.
Mhm.
So they're not to the point. I mean, the Snapchat AI isn't to the point where it seems like you're really talking to somebody who knows and understands.
Do you know if that uses the Chat GBT model? Because that's actually pretty good at that.
I felt like it does, but but in my in my in me talking to him or her, you can name it whatever you want. It didn't seem like it really like it was really a person, like it
I
or
see.
or remembered what I said or cared about what I said,
Yeah.
which are human qualities. You're
Okay. Maybe.
you're here, you can hear and understand what I say, and that's it takes a lot for a computer to be programmed to do that.
Hmm.
Eye in the sky, faces, places, 99%. I don't know if you ever see 100%. You can look up those sometimes. A Fantastic Woman, The Farewell, The Favorite. Stop me if you've seen any of these.
Nope.
Fighting with My Family with Florence Pugh.
All right. Here we go. We got one. Finding Dory.
Okay,
You
we're
see
back.
that, Brandon?
We're back on the Pixar trip, and this is the sequel to Finding Nemo, which Patrick and I talked about yesterday. And this came out in 2016. Finding Dory, starring Ellen DeGeneres. I did see it in theaters. It had another, new fun character with the Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy octopus,
Hmm.
and it's fun to watch Dory, search for her family. And I don't know if it's as good as the original, but it's pretty
I
fun.
actually, I thought it was a great follow up to the first. I thought it was a fun storyline. I too saw it in theaters, and I remember as I was walking out of there, it felt like being slapped silly by a seahorse. Just loved it.
Oh, that's high praise. It felt like an underwater world. But yeah, that's our second Pixar movie. Let's see if we get any more on this list. First Man, First Reformed, The Florida Project, Ford versus Ferrari, Free Solo, Get Out. That's
Hmm.
the one directed by Jordan Peele. Funny, scary, thought provoking. I heard that one's really good, but I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Did you see that
It,
one?
I did. I enjoyed it. It's yeah. It's one of it's it makes you think, especially when you walk out. You're kind of surprised what you just watched.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the kind of movie I like, but haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. A Ghost Story, Gloria, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Gravity, Guardians of the
Hmm.
Galaxy,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Marvel
You know,
movie.
so I hadn't heard about them, and then I was with you and Alan, and you guys were talking about that before it came out in the theaters,
Yes.
and you were talking about the trailer, and it made me interested to see it, and then I waited 3 years, and when I watched it, I remembered, oh, they this is why they were excited for it. I loved it. I thought it was fun.
That's so funny. Yeah, because I mean, for Marvel fans, we knew all the characters they were making movies about up until that point. Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. You've heard of them. They've been around. You've seen them on action figures. We didn't really know who Guardians of the Galaxy was. So even in the like on Twitter and stuff, people were like, "Is this going to be the first big flop of the MCU, the Guardians of the Galaxy?" But they pulled it out and made an awesome movie.
Mm.
And they've been saying that ever since for every other Marvel movie that comes out. Will this be the big flop? But hasn't happened yet.
They're doing it. Yeah, I ended up watching it because of Guardians Mission Breakout, California Adventure.
Was that real? Was that 2017 when that came around, or further? Really? Oh wow. Guardian. What do we call that? A remodel? What do we call that?
I don't know. Retheme?
Overlay.
Overlay? Yeah, maybe so.
But yeah, they the whole Twilight Tower of Terror is now Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guilty.
Yeah, I actually I think I think they did a really good job with it. I was really nervous. I was one of the folks that enjoyed the original Tower.
Sure,
But
yeah,
it was
of
fun,
course.
yeah.
I mean, I miss it. I mean, now we just got Guardians there, right?
But I think it's super fun. I actually enjoy like the level of enjoyment I get walking off after this ride is way more than the other.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of characters and fun stuff to see for sure.
Yeah, but the nostalgia's gone. It's dead.
I was a big Twilight Zone fan, but yeah, but Guardians are good too. The Guilty, The Handmaiden. Okay, let's talk about the Harry Potter series. This has got only one Harry Potter up here on the top 200, being Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Well, I don't think there were.
Aha. This was the only one of the 2010 era.
Yeah, that's.
So, but anyways, how do you feel about the wrap up of the Harry Potter 8 movie series?
8 movies. So I recently watched all of them.
Yeah.
And, probably in the last 6 months, like in order, obviously. And I think it's a fun journey. I didn't read the books, but I watched the movies in different order just from my life. But this was my first intentional, let's watch all 7 movies. And
Yeah.
I think it's a fun story. And there's a lot of details that watching in order you pick up on, and like I started wondering, like, what's this about, and you really gives you the opportunity to think a lot more.
Was there stuff that like felt like you didn't understand it because it was from the book and it wasn't explained well in the movies, or?
Yeah, so fortunately for me, my fiance is a huge Harry Potter fan, and so I kept pausing and asking, and she would say, "Just wait." Just wait. Or if it's something I've just missed and it's not going to recircle back, she would explain it. But yeah, I fortunately had a lifeline.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I read those books, so I don't know what it was like to watch those in the movie theater without having read the books.
That was me.
I lost my page here. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Okay, so, but those are great movies. The Harry Potter. I'm a huge fan. I mean, got to read the books. Got go get them on tape. Listen to them. The books they're popular. They're the most popular series of all time for a reason.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
The Hate You Give. Hell or High Water. Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine. Her, another movie, kind of
another AI movie. Yeah, saw that.
You saw this one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so it is a similar movie where he like gets this bot thing. I don't know if it's a box. I can't recall, or a tape deck or something. And it's an AI, and he ends up falling in love with that person or that character.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, so it's just her voice, and it's very soothing to listen to. But it's interesting because his perspective. It's like a many to one or a one to many relationship. So he thinks he has a one-on-one relationship, but then this AI is really, talking to billions of people. So like later he finds out he's developed all these feelings, but she's just being herself and walking the path.
Oh.
He finds out that she's also chatting with a billion other people, and so it's.
Does he lose his mind?
I can't recall how it ends.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Sounds like an interesting premise. I was watching a funny TikTok video about like how a guy who had just gotten like a virtual headset and he had this virtual girlfriend, and it's like he's just there with all he has is a headset on, but he's there having a relationship with a girl,
Is it somebody else with a headset on, or is it an AI
It's an
person?
AI. It's a complete AI. And then there's a joke, and it looks just like a real person. And then there's a joke where he cheated on her with another AI. I'll send it to you. It's really funny. But
wait, so it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, but it's just also a mind bender. It's just weird because like who knows, 10 years from now, people are really going to be having full relationships with AI.
Did you? Oh, thought you were gonna go a different way with that. In the movie Demolition Man,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever see that? It was Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Wesley
Yeah,
Snipes.
a little bit, but not. I don't remember it well. But go on.
It's so he's like, I don't know. He like had it was where they like if you did a crime, you were like cryogenically frozen, like in Austin Powers, and
And then
I
you
think that's it. So he came back and he's like way in the future, and in that movie, and it was in 1993, so it's like what 30 years old now. So it 31. They have intercourse through AI or this, but with like these goggles on, but not touching each other.
Oh,
It's just
I have seen that scene because I remember as a kid, it
I
was
was a kid too. I was like 4.
exciting to see. I do remember that scene with Sandra Bullock. She's wearing the headset, and they're doing it through the headset.
Yeah, that's right. And so I thought that's where you were going with in the future with the headsets.
I mean, there's a lot of
There's a lot of different. There's an infinite number of outcomes.
Exactly. So we're getting to the end of our list here. Hereditary is a really scary one. A bunch of my friends who like horror movies recommend to go watch this. It will really blow your mind. If you don't have if you got a weak stomach, you don't probably want to go for it. Hidden Figures was an awesome movie about how these African American women were like the heads of NASA, or they did all the work for the mathematics for NASA based on a true story. Did you see this one?
I did, yeah. I loved it. That was great.
Oh, Kevin Costner. I was going to say Michael Keaton, but it had Kevin Costner in there. And they had to walk like 20 minutes to go to the bathroom because it was the bathrooms were separated for white.
And he's yeah.
And he just wanted them to be normal with his group, and he goes and breaks the sign. And he says, "We don't play that shit at NASA."
Yeah, he was just like, hey, like it's just not even a thing. Like we're here to do, this shouldn't be a thing. Like let's just do our jobs and not be. Yeah, I loved that part.
That was an awesome moment, and an awesome movie in general. A lot of fun. Hidden Figures. Honeyland. Oh, Honeyland. Oh, I thought it was going to be Honey Boy. Remember Honey Boy with Shia LaBeouf?
Wasn't that up above?
Honey Boy? No. I don't even know if I have the right name on that. It was something to have to do with honey and Shia LaBeouf, but this isn't it. How to Train Your Dragon?
Nope.
I mean, you would think that all those Pixar movies you would like How to Train Your Dragon, but not up your alley. Hunt for the Wilder People, Hustlers. Wow. I'm really surprised this one is on the top 200. I saw this in theaters. It's about like these strippers who are like robbing people, but I don't know if it's the top 200 of the 2010 era. I Am Not Your Negro. 99%. I, Tonya. Oh, that's about Tonya Harding. If Beale Street Could Talk. Here we go. Back to Pixar. Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 what did you think of this one?
I can't recall.
So I
I
literally
watched it,
fell
but
asleep in the theater on this one.
oh, cool. So you can't recall either.
I can't recall Incredibles 2, but unless I go back and watch it, I'm gonna think it's not as good as the original. Unless you go back and watch it. Well,
So,
Inside Out, was that top on your list for Pixar movies?
I enjoyed that one. Yeah, I think it's fun. I'm excited for part two.
Inside Out 2, coming to a theater near you.
In like what, June? 2 months?
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. That will be a lot of fun. Um, let's just keep going here. We got a couple more minutes. We're only on The Irishman, Isle of the Dogs, It Follows, John Wick Chapter 3. You keep up with these John Wick movies?
No, but I've been meaning to. Have you?
I heard there's a lot of crossover. They have no, I don't. I'd never seen a John Wick movie. What I did see was this Disney movie, The Jungle Book from 2016.
All right, tell me about it.
All CGI, and they redid some of the songs in their new CGI way, which is like they kind of do it with a twist and with the new actors. So it's like Bill Murray as Baloo.
And it was yeah, John Favreau did directed it, right? He also did the Lion King remake.
Yeah. So for these Disney remakes, we don't need them. But they're gonna make a lot of money, but they're not as good as the original cartoon. But
okay, so yeah, okay.
But they're fun, But it's not like I want them to stop and not make a movie that could exist that is good and people like. But I'm just saying, it doesn't add a lot to the original, really.
Okay, true. That's a good statement. Yeah. I mean, so it's like, but remake, right? It's not like a continuation of the story. Are you hoping for when they do a live action remake, live action remake like this, for a new storyline? Because if you like think of the Lion King, right? It's like a frame by frame duplicate. You saw you told me that before I went and saw it. I recall. It's like they just framed it for. It's almost like they could have fed that into an AI machine and just like, hey, make this look real.
But with new actors as the voices, and
right,
and then that's like jarring because we're so used to the originals. But I mean, for Lion King 2, I'd be interested to see what they do with it. That is a movie that's coming out soon.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, The Lion King 2. I think it's a prequel. It's going to be like the story of Mufasa or something.
This year? Oh yeah, Mufasa, The Lion King 2024.
So now that, as you said, that's a sequel with a new story. You're going to sit there and judge it on its own merits. So
that'll be cool. That'll be really cool.
They had to make that frame by frame remake to set up for this, which was hopefully going to blow us all out of the water.
Yeah.
Ketty is a cat fancier's dream. The King's Speech, Knives Out. I'll let you go here pretty soon, but let's try to end on a high note. I did want to talk to you about these two movies. La La Land. Did you see that one?
I did.
Did you like it?
Did you see it?
I did. I saw it in theaters in 2016.
I did as well. I walked out of that theater thinking that movie was really boring.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't. I thought you were going to be a fan of that one.
It dragged on. Dragged on for me. It was like that movie Up Above you talked about. But I watched it again later on in my life, and it grew on me. I mean, the music is great. I do enjoy the music, but I still think it's a funky story. But I mean, it's a real life story. It's not like this one of these fairy tales that you get out of a Disney movie. So it's like it's not based on real life that I'm aware of, but just the it seems like it's a very plausible story.
I'm a big Emma Stone fan. I could just watch her do anything. She's
good call.
But I mean, it's got music. It's got Ryan Gosling. It's got Emma Stone, and they're singing, they're dancing, they're trying to make it in Hollywood. I enjoyed it. I don't remember being bored watching it. So. But what I did want to talk to you about was the Lego Movie.
Oh, that's got Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt as this main guy here. That was a lot of fun. They really.
That was fun.
I mean, that's like what you want. Like when you hear about a Lego movie or a Barbie movie, or they announce some other new stuff where it's like, why are you making this? But then, when they do an awesome job, we love it,
Yeah. It was, yeah, that was a great movie. I enjoyed it.
And, they brought in all the characters, Batman, Will Ferrell. So Lego movie's great. I know you've been a Lego fan your whole life.
Yeah, I don't have a Millennium Falcon Lego set.
Okay, well, you know what? Unfortunately, we're gonna have to come back and do the rest another time. The second half of the best of the 2010s. But it was awesome to have you on the show today, talking about some of our favorites. What would you say? What do you recommend the people to go watch out of the movies that we reviewed today?
Oh,
Not La La Land, unless it
not-
grew from you more.
yeah, I mean, if you're into that and you want a musical with Emma Stone in it, she's yeah, she dances around. It's great.
Here we go. Bring Brian back for part 2.
I love it.
Lion King 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I'm gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's such a fun movie. Just it's not very. There's a lot more thought-provoking movies in there, but you want a light, fun night. That's good one to go with.
Definitely.
What about you?
Are you caught up on the Guardians 2 and Guardians 3?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of the subsequent Guardians movies?
The first one was, like I said, I didn't know anything about the characters. I didn't even know them, except what you and Alan talked about. So the first one, just like them being so new, was exciting. Can't top that. I thought that the second one was fun for what Peter Quill, his development.
Oh, that one was awesome. I thought with
Yeah.
he meets his dad on the planet.
He meets his dad. Yeah, so it's like that's a fun one, and that's also Baby Groot's first introduction.
Yeah.
Well, not except the end of the first one. But the third one, I can't recall. It just came out, right? Or what was the third one about?
The third one was about the evolutionist. We got the background story of Rocket Raccoon and how he was tortured, and
That's right.
we go to the planet where there's a bunch of like evolved forms of animals. They look like humans, but they're like it's like Earth 2 or something.
Is this and this is where they're like and they land in the street that looked like the street from the not the Giver, but what that movie with the basketballs, or the book with the basketballs.
Oh yeah, you related it to like I know what movie you're talking about, but I can't remember. But yeah, it kind of had that kind of surreal feel.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I mean, I'm going through the list here. I'm cheating and going back here and saying
I did as well.
That, I mean, obviously we talked about Avengers Endgame is the greatest of all time. So Avengers Endgame, that means you got to watch the whole MCU to for it all to build up into a climax, into a satisfying climax. I saw another one here. The one with Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks' Mr. Rogers is way up there for me. Doctor Strange is way up there for me. And I will reiterate The Room by Tommy Wiseau and the movie about The Room, The Disaster Artist. So those would be my top 3 or 4. And yeah, we'll have to come back and do this again soon.
I'd love to.
I'll be checking in on your schedule.
You got it.
So
pleasure being a part of this. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining me, my friend. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can follow and subscribe Brandon K Show. And Brian, you want to plug anything?
Keep being you, Brandon. We love you.
That Brian is a stand-up guy. He's not trying to sell anything.
Just your friendship.
Hold on, I gotta way out of here. Hold on. All right, and thank you for watching.